Afghan officials who worked for the now ousted civilian government are living a precarious life. The Taliban did offer them amnesty, but human rights groups say hundreds of former soldiers and bureaucrats have been targeted. Some of them have made it to the hills on Panjshir. Their mission? To make a living out of emerald mines. It may sound like a money spinning venture, but in reality, it's hard work for little money.
A coterie of men sit around in the snow, all of them rummaging through the coarse earth. What they are looking for is tiny, about as big as a peanut. But in the right hands, they can fetch good money. Emeralds, that's what they are hunting.
I'm searching through sand and stones here. This sand is second and third hand. We bring it out of the mine and sift through it here. We are washing the bags and the emeralds that we find there and selling them for 50, 80, 100 and 150 Afghanis.
Up here in Panjshir, emeralds are not new. Locals have known about it for thousands of years. But systematic mining came late, around the 1970s. These men are the latest treasure hunters. First to arrive are the blasters. Huge booms echo throughout the valley as mine shafts are carved out. Now the diggers go in. 10 miners usually make up one team. And each shaft is co-owned by dozens of people. It's hard work for little pay.
We don't have proper rooms for living and people are living in tents. Sometimes it's raining and snowing, so it's very difficult. If you bring the sand, that's also difficult. In the winter, you don't have water, fire, proper house or a proper clinic. If you get sick or get cold, you have to go to the clinic and have medicine. So it's very complicated here.
Gulbuddin worked in the now disbanded Afghan army. He had decent pay, good working conditions and respect in the community. At this job, he says, he feels like cattle. Squalid camps, extreme working conditions and meager wages.
The job that I had was a very good job. I had a $350 salary in the previous government. The current work is not a job, we are like cattle here. We do not have enough income. The old job was better, but still we thank God for it.
Most miners tell a similar story. They worked for the US-backed government in Kabul. Some were police officers, others were bureaucrats. When the Taliban captured power, they fled. The new regime has promised amnesty for all. But ground reports tell a different story. More than 100 former soldiers and cops have been executed or have disappeared. Not joining that list is priority number one.
I had worked in offices, in administrative sections, in the police, and it was very difficult for me to go all of a sudden and switch to such physical work. It was very difficult for me, but I had to create an alternative to prepare myself for any kind of situation because there were no job opportunities. That is why I started working in the mines.
What does the Taliban make of these emerald hunters? Their fighters did visit this valley in September. They called up the miners to examine their palms. They were looking for wear and tear. If you're a new miner, chances are your hands are unscathed. Chances are you switched jobs recently. 20 such men were rounded up by the Taliban. Thankfully, they were released soon. But high up in the ridges of Panjshir, the Taliban aren't the only danger. Accidents are never far away.
Yes, accidents happen. My uncle and cousin were hit by an explosion in that mountain. The latter was killed and the former wounded. You saw the guys who are pulling the trolleys. This is itself dangerous, and 2 of them from my team were also hit and wounded in the back. So walking in the mountains is hard, heavy and dangerous. It's working with bombs and explosives.
These miners are not here out of choice. They are here out of desperation. Some of them have large families to feed. Offering their services to the vengeful Taliban is not an option. So they come here every day, rummaging through the sand in search of treasures. Humble treasures, we should say. South Asia Bureau, WION World is One.